Hey guys, Mike Siciliano here. Today you're consuming Self-Boss Marketing Tips. The topic, SEO. What is SEO? SEO is short for Search Engine Optimization, which is the practice of optimizing web pages so that they rank higher in the Google search results or in major search engine results. And guys, there's so many of you out there right now that are just running ads, 80K, 150K a month on ads. And yeah, you're seeing a return. You're seeing your 3-time return on ad spend, your 6-time return on ad spend, whatever makes you profitable, that's great. But do you want to know what a long-term play is? A long-term play is SEO, search engine optimization. It's not going anywhere. You can optimize for voice searches. You can optimize for organic type searches. But at least if your website is built correctly from the beginning to be optimized for major keywords relating to your products or services, you're done. You'll start ranking in the search results 6 months to a year out. It's a long-term play, but you know what? It's much better than spending 80K, 150K a month on ads, hoping that you're profitable. And I'm not saying to drop your ad strategy altogether, but why not optimize for search engines in a way that you don't have to pay daily to get visibility? I understand that today's digital landscape is pay to play. Build that brand authority because it's going to be critical down the road. There's so many components that play into ranking on the Google SERPs, the search engine results pages. And that's from on-page components to off-page components. So the first thing you want to do, go ahead and claim your domain in Google Search Console. Google Search Console is the hub where you can see exactly how your website is performing, errors on the website. You submit your sitemap so that Google can crawl your website. If you haven't submitted your website to the Google Search Console, go ahead and do it now. Ask your agency to do it now. Ask your web development company to do it right now. It is critical to the performance of your website. So, some things that play into the way your website ranks on Google. The first thing, your domain authority. How long has your URL been around? How long has yourbusiness.com existed? If your business has existed for 6 months, probably not going to have a lot of authority just yet. If your business has existed for years on the web, you'll probably have a ton of authority. After that, let's look at some of the micro components that go into the on-page optimization of your website. It's very important when you're driving traffic to your products or your services that you choose a primary long-tail keyword. You can look up the search volume for these keywords in that same tool that I discussed during the search-based ads campaign video. Go ahead and look at the volume, find keywords that have a high search volume, and that's what you want to target because those are the searches being made on Google for your products or services. So you're going to choose that long tail keyword. Make sure that the URL has the keyword in it. So if your keyword is going to be trendy men's t-shirts, it needs to be yourbusiness.com/trendy-men's-t-shirts. Now that we have that, you're going to want to have a heading hierarchy throughout the page. What is a heading hierarchy? Well, that gets a bit tricky because we're talking about code at this point. The HTML uses tags, H1, H2, all the way through H6, and these tags signify the importance of the headings within your content. So your H1 needs to have your primary keyword that we added into the URL. Your H2 needs to have a variation of the keyword or a word that's semantically similar to your primary keyword. Your content also needs to utilize that keyword. So that keyword needs to show up in various places. Now you don't want to overuse the keyword because that's considered keyword stuffing and Google will penalize your page. You don't want to underuse the keyword because then the keyword won't be noticed by the search algorithms. So after we have our content optimized and focused around our primary keyword, we're going to look at the images that are used on the page. Background images are not relevant to this discussion. We are only talking about images that lay within the content. So you'll want to use your primary keyword as the image title. If your image is 1234567.jpg, you need to change that to be fancy-men's-t-shirts.jpg. After, add an alt tag to the image. This can be done either through code or through your content management system. If you're using WordPress, if you're using Shopify, any of those platforms, you can go ahead and add an alt tag to these images. So go ahead and use the primary keyword for the alt tag as well. The alt tag is text that Google displays when an image can't be loaded. So if that text is not talking about what is in the image or what is the primary topic of the web page, it won't be considered relevant. And again, your page will be penalized. So after we have those image titles correct and our image alt text correct, let's move on to some internal linking. If you have other pages on your website, such as fancy men's shoes or fancy men's shorts, go ahead and mention those pages within the content, grab the text, and link out to those particular pages. So fancy men's shoes will be mentioned in the content. It will have a hyperlink that's linked out to that page on your website. And you're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on those other pages. What we're doing is pointing Google to the page that is discussing that particular topic. So your web page is saying, hey Google, I know about fancy men's t-shirts. This page knows about fancy men's shoes. This is building authority for your pages internally. You can not only build authority with external links, with other websites pointing to your website, you can also build it internally on page with these internal links. The last thing that I want you to make note of is schema markup. You can't see schema markup. It is done entirely with code. It will be in the header of your website, and sometimes developers will put it in the footer of the website. So schema.org is a language that all of the major search engines agree on for structured data within your website. Structured data meaning business names, reviews, menu items, products, etc. They are all written in a particular way in the header of your website that allows Google to identify exactly the topic on page. Not only does this schema markup make your page more relevant in Google's eyes, it also will structure the way that your page displays in the search results. So it benefits you in two ways. So those are just some of the simple on-page components that you can try to optimize on your website right now, or get on the phone with your web development company/agency to make sure that they're doing it for you. The next thing that we're gonna discuss are off-page components. Off-page components point to your website. Off-page components are things such as backlinks, directory listings, social media accounts, etc. We are creating a voice for your business online. When a high domain authority website is linking back to your website, it adds a lot of value. This high domain authority website is trusted by Google. And because it's trusted by Google, when it tells Google that your website knows a particular topic, Google's more likely to trust that website. And that in return gives your website a little bit more authority on the web. So backlinks are critical, and they're arguably the most important component to your SEO strategy. Directory listings are another very important component to your SEO strategy. We need to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are the exact same on every listing throughout the web. There's a wide variety of tools that can do this for you, from Yext to Bright Local. Go ahead and look them up. Pick one that's best for you. There's monthly subscriptions available, and it'll make sure that 80+ directories are pointing to your business with the correct content consistently. Even a comma, even one comma in your business address being present on one listing and not another can treat those listings as separate businesses. So it's very critical that your name, address, and phone number, a concept known as NAP, your NAP, is consistent throughout the web. Lastly, your social media accounts, very important. You want to make sure that your description is using your primary keywords for your business. You're maximizing the amount of content that you can have within that description, and there's some sort of link pointing back to your website on that profile, whether it's a business profile or a personal profile that you have structured to be a business. This plays into your social voice on the web. Everything plays into your social voice on the web. And the reason why you want to have as much content as possible is because other businesses are also writing content. The more content that talks about a particular product or service, the better. The more relevant it is and the more attached it will be to search queries being conducted through these major search engines. Why not write extra content to fill up the space that's relevant to your product or services and that's adding value to your users? The same goes for the on-page. If you're writing 500 words of content, but there's a local business that ranks for the same products or services as you, and they have 700 words, you're gonna wanna go ahead and beef up your content because, again, Google likes content. So those are just a couple of simple items that you can do on page and off page to get your website a little bit more optimized. Now, if you have an agency or you have a web development company that manages your website, go ahead and make a list of the items that I discussed in this episode and have them point out where each one of those are. If you don't have them and you haven't implemented them into your website, your website's not going to rank very well. Those are surface level items. At a minimum, your website should include them. If you need extra help or you want someone to audit your website, go to haystackmarketing.com. Me and my team are happy to do so. So that's today's discussion. Thank you so much for consuming Self-Boss Marketing Tips. Please share this episode, drop a comment if you have any questions. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, please. And also subscribe to my Apple Podcast. Just search Mike Siciliano in your Apple Podcast app and you'll see Self-Boss Marketing Tips. Thanks, guys.